What is up, horror fiends? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Junkies podcast, the show that's dedicated to all things horror. As always, I'm your host, Mike, and I'm joined with my ghoulish friends, Patrick and Dylan.
Hello.
We're back. It's another episode. If you're new here, welcome to our weird show where we talk about our favorite genre. We hope you'll stay and listen to us, so make sure to subscribe. Tell your friends. This is your mom's favorite podcast. If you're a returning listener, we love you. We can't wait to have do this cool, fun episode with you, and we're going to talk about Heretic, which has been everywhere, blasting our ear holes and eye holes, and everyone's saying it's probably one of the best movies of the year so far. But a lot of people have said that about a lot of movies, so we'll definitely get into that conversation. But before we do, we always like to start the show kind of just like warming up, talking about it. It was fucking Turkey Day a couple of days ago, so let's start the fucking show with some food. Yeah. Who wants to go first? Fat Log Thanksgiving edition.
Pat, you want the honors, buddy?
No, you go first. I don't have a really big. I don't have a good fat log.
All right. Well, we'll start off. So I got there, and there was a lot of stuff, and then never in my life did I need 2 plates at once, Christ. And they were both full. But I said to myself, I need 1 plate that just has everything with gravy on it. So I had a plate, okay. I didn't have to worry about getting gravy on things I didn't want it on. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So that plate consisted of turkey, which was delicious.
Soup, didn't it?
No, let me tell you something. It was turkey. I had some stuffing with some daddle peppers in it, which if you don't know what those are, the type of pepper that is kind of unique to the region where I live.
Okay.
It's like brought over from like the Menorcans and whatnot. So, which is what I am. So,
he's a goddamn what?
a Menorcan, and yeah. So it had daddle peppers in it, so it was nice and spicy, and like mashed potatoes and like just gravy all over that son bitch. And then I did the other plate: the mac and cheese, the ham, the roll, the sweet potato casserole. Brother, oh my god. It was everything I wanted and more. It's everything I waited a whole year for. It was tremendous. You know, football's on the TV.
The quintessential Thanksgiving meal, Dylan.
Yes, indeed so. And then the best part about it is the next night my family has Thanksgiving part 2.
Where it's all the fucking holiday sequel.
The gravy is reheated. Everything's so back out.
They had to do it twice.
Yes, and then I had not everything made it. Okay, all the sweet potato casserole went away.
Yeah,
that hurt me.
The sweet potato casserole doesn't last.
That hurt next day. That hurt me, man. That hurt me. I thought I was going to get another round at it, but apparently we're going to have it at Christmas too, so I ain't got to worry about that.
It is funny how a lot of the foods that people eat for Thanksgiving do recycle back to Christmas.
Yeah,
but Issa and I, it was just the 2 of us, and we made. I spatchcock a chicken. Well, I shouldn't say I bought a pre-spatchcock chicken because fuck all that. And I did a whole dry brine. I fucking smothered that thing in some Cajun butter. Cooked that. We made like a green bean and mushroom with bacon, like kind of casserole like thing. And then we did like instead of like a sweet potato casserole, we did like sweet potatoes that we diced up, oven roasted with like cranberries and pine nuts, glazed with like maple syrup and stuff. And then we made mashed potatoes, of course.
Yeah.
Gotta have mashed potatoes, and we made some gravy. I think that was really it. I'm trying to think of the sides. Yeah, that was it for us. And then of course there's a pie place that sells like small 6-inch pies. So we had a small pumpkin pie, apple pie, and pecan pie.
Oh my God.
I know.
That is something. My dad starts his gravy the day before.
Yeah. Jesus.
He starts it the day before. And every year he goes, I suffer for my gravy.
You do.
He's like, I suffer for it.
Oh, I make cornbread too. That's what I make.
Hell yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Cornbread in a cast iron pan.
What about you, Pat?
So me and Sav and her mom went to Delaney's Tavern. It's right by our house. It's one of our favorite restaurants that we go to. Best steaks in Orlando.
What kind of steaks did you have?
Well, we didn't have steaks, so they did this cool holiday thing where it's a buffet.
Okay. Oh,
or if you guys have it, she calls it a buffet.
Oh, geez. I mean, a Jimmy buffet.
Pronounce it as it's spelled. It's buffet.
The whole time, I'm like, why you keep saying? She's like, there's a T in it. I'm like, Nothing gets past you, huh?
Nothing like the American language to really fuck you up with all these silent letters. Like the P isn't necessary in pneumonia.
No, but so we met up with our mom over there, and typical Thanksgiving stuff, stuffing, mashed potatoes, no mac and cheese.
What?
I know. I said, what kind of fucking buffet?
They should have been arrested.
Absolutely.
They should have I'd have ran in there with a clipboard, like, shut it down.
Shut it down. There ain't no mac and cheese on the
You're
table.
in violation.
So
You're of the Velveeta Convention.
So I just, double stuff on stuffing.
Nice. There you go. Wrong with that.
Since there's no mac and cheese, I'm like, well, you did this to me.
You fucking, I'm eating all this stuffing because of you. How about do you guys take your fucking dinner rolls, rip them open,
yes,
and then put mashed potatoes in them with some
stuffing.
Gravy, and then some stuffing, or then a little piece of turkey or ham, and make little sandwiches.
I do make little turkey sandwiches. It's just the whole thing.
Yes.
No cranberry sauce. I don't like it.
I'm not cranberry sauce.
That's
good. Another thing we all agree on in this podcast. Fuck cranberry sauce.
Fuck cranberries.
I will say this. The chef at my restaurant was making some turkeys to test it out. And he made me a turkey sandwich with some American cheese, and he pressed it on Cuban bread. And he gave me the cranberry sauce to dip it in, because it's like an actual sauce, not like a gelatinous circle that you cut into.
Yeah, it's not like a Jello.
It's an actual sauce. And I dipped that sandwich in the fucking cranberry sauce, and oh my fucking God, it was wild.
I guess to be fair, I don't like that cranberry, the gelatinous can. I love cranberries. Like you just eat some dried cranberries, but that cranberry sauce, that's some nasty shit right there.
Were you able to bring some leftovers back with you, Pat?
No, I asked.
They had that on lockdown.
What?
I said,
Sir, put the tray down.
Well, Sav's mom put her like rolls in a napkin. I'm like, can I do the same thing with the stuffing?
You can.
Yo, listen.
I was not gonna. No, I'm not pulling a fucking Napoleon Dynamite and putting stuff in or putting.
I have a
putting
hilarious
potatoes in my fucking pocket.
You trip, and stuffing flies out of your pockets like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Get him! We gotta go 4913. 4913. They're fucking swarming Pat.
Yeah, but for dinner, so I had my friend Daniel. He's done reviews for the show and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But his mom he's Mexican. So I asked his mom and I paid her. I'm like, can you make me some Mexican rice and some flan for Thanksgiving dinner? Cause I know I wasn't going to go home. I'm like, this is the closest thing I can get to Spanish food. So can you mom cook for me?
Can you please, for the love of God.
So I had for dinner I had leftover Taco Bell with some Spanish rice.
Dude.
Hell yeah!
Fuck yeah!
You had fourth meal. Hell yeah!
Absolutely.
You were living Moss, dude.
Yeah, I said fuck the American fucking Thanksgiving. I'm having somewhat authentic Mexican with Taco Bell.
Taco Bell may be the most authentic Mexican food you can get in.
Taco Bell has heritage. All right.
Oh man. No, but ironically, like you saying that, Pat, just like kickstart a memory in my mind. Years ago, I went to medieval times with like my dad and like my stepmom's like mom. And if you're not aware about what medieval times is, it's a like dinner show where there's knights and there's jousting, and it's a big thing. And the big thing about the meal that they serve you is that you are given no utensils.
Yeah.
To eat. Yeah. You have to eat with your hands like they did in the medieval times.
It's like you ever seen The Cable Guy?
Exactly.
It's like when Jimmy Garofalo goes, there were no utensils in medieval times, therefore there are no utensils at medieval times. Exactly. Would you like a refill on your Pepsi? There was no utensils, but there was Pepsi.
So talk about how my Meemaw snuck in cutlery to use, and they fucking confiscated it from her.
No.
Yeah,
that won't be happening here,
they
lady.
Said, you can't have those, and we're gonna need to take them from you. And she was like, what do you mean? No.
They said, what is that? She's a witch.
Not my cutlery.
But yeah, it just saying the fucking like Sav's mom was putting rolls in her fucking napkins reminded me of her. Like, she had a whole plastic bag full of plastic forks and knives.
She's passing it
came
down.
prepared.
She's like, I know they don't have fucking utensils in this cheap place, so.
Oh man. Oh well, it sounds like everyone had a festivus.
Yeah.
So that's good. And
Absolutely.
we love to eat on this podcast. So
I still have leftover flung, so I'm gonna eat that tonight with some hot cocoa.
I've got leftover ham in the fridge, and I fried some up on the, this morning and fried a couple of eggs with it. Oh my god!
Oh, you know what?
The key, my friend.
We do be eating like kings.
We do
in this
be
fucking podcast.
The key to the ham and toast combination.
Yes.
You can use any kind of jelly or condiment that you prefer, I suppose.
Mm.
But if you can get your hands on it, and for those from this not from the South, they may not know, but ham on toast with apple butter.
Oh yeah, brother, you can't fucking go.
It's
wrong
a
with
sweet and savory. You put a little butter on there, and then you put it on a single piece of toast. I'm gonna build it for you real quick. I'm gonna build it in your mind palace, because what you do is you take a piece of toast and then you butter it. Then you put apple butter on it. Then you put some freshly seared hot ham on the bread on the bottom half of the bread. Take the top half, fold it. You got like a little taco type thing. You get your over easy egg, runny yolk. You salt and pepper, hot sauce. You dip that bitch in the yolk. You cover the piece of bread with egg and you bite it, and then you see God. You see God.
You then
heaven exists and it's on earth. You're heaven. You're God. Once you bite into that sandwich, okay, everything becomes clear.
God damn it.
Your chakras align. It's nuts. It's nutty, dude.
Your third eye awakens.
Also, the appropriate way to do turkey, if you're going to do leftover turkey, you take 2 pieces of white bread. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy. 2 pieces of white bread, untoasted, soft.
Cooking show.
You take the turkey, you put the turkey on top, heat it up however you want. You reheat your gravy. You pour your gravy over the turkey and the bread. The soft bread soaks up the gravy.
Sage
and I'm going to tell you, it's a warm hug. It's a warm hug from a sweet old lady.
Heroin.
Oh my God. Listen, it is everything you've ever wanted. I'm telling you, it's chef's kiss. It's 10 out of 10.
So the what we're learning here is that we're gonna make a Horror Junkies cookbook, and it will just be the most random. There will be no actual instructions. It will just be like, you take some white bread and you butter it. You toast it.
You throw them some bitches on the plate.
There's no fucking measurements. There's no cooking time.
Look, in Southern cooking, there are no measurements.
You just fucking throw that thing in a pan and you pray to the gods that it fucking comes out delicious.
Yes.
I make some green chili, but that's a conversation for another day.
Green chili, like green chili sauce, or like chili that is green?
It's green because okay, here, hold on, everyone. Let's go. So you get like salsa verde, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 cans of that shit. I sauteed onions and garlic and some 2 types of beans, and like white beans and hamoy beans, and I did corn and sauteed that all up. Then I got a rotisserie chicken that I shredded, dumped that in, some chili seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic, onion, paprika, Cajun, salt, all that kind of shit, and then some fucking chicken broth, some fucking cream of mushroom soup base. And then what else did I put in there? Did all that. Yeah. Oh, avocado, some fucking sharp white cheddar, shredded cheese go on top, cilantro. Dude, it was fucking fire.
Cream of mushroom soup. Listen, Campbell's cream of mushroom soup. A lot of people don't know this. Like, if you're crafting a witch-like concoction, that's your eye anew.
It really is.
The cream of mushroom soup, you can make so many baller fucking dishes.
Yep.
With the cream of mushroom soup. It's nuts.
It's insane. So like I said, either we're making a cooking book or we're going to create a cooking channel, which I do think I want to do. This is an idea for our YouTube channel for 2025, because I have the horror cookbook from A24, the caviar one, where it has like all the weird horror related dishes in it. And I feel like I just want to cook it next year because I've
Or we make our own.
We make our own. But I was like, dude, I want to cook the cookbook because I've had it. I've never eaten a dish out of it. And some of the food looks fucking insane. Like some of them are like super weird, classy looking meals. I'm like, I want to know if it's actually good or not.
I'll do my grandfather's midnight snack sandwich when he smokes a lot of weed.
Hell yes.
Just takes whatever in the fridge, put it between two breads and call it
grandma boy scene.
Just all you do is you spread mustard on both sides of the bread. You put salami and Oreos. That's it. Yeah, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
it probably does taste delicious.
Listen.
Can I guess what's on the A24 food cookbook for Hereditary? Is there a headless chicken?
So no, it's actually not movie based. That's the thing.
That dumb.
Boo.
It's called Horror Caviar, a cookbook, and they are 29. So it's feast, delicacies, and drinks inspired by 29 horror movies from cult to canon, including Audition, Suspiria, Possession, Ganja and Hess, Midsommar, Trouble Every Day, The Shining, The Witch, and more. So there are some like movie. They are all movie themed, but not so heavily movie themed. Here, I'll share my screen so I can show you guys real quick what the inside looks because I'm on their website. Here we go, and everyone can kind of see. So this is like the book, and when you go inside of it, you see these crazy. It's also really like cool as fuck inside, like insane cover arts, but like you can just go through and like there's like this weird jello you can make. And
is that from Midsommar?
Probably, but it's just a cool thing. Like there's a lot of crazy
period orange juice. It's like
you want an orange juice. But yeah, I just think it would be fun because it's a lot of weird food, and I want to try it and see if it's actually good. Because what if it's just a cool cookbook, but the food is actually trash?
Well, that's where we'll succeed because we'll actually make good food.
Exactly.
It'll be weird concoctions.
Let's get into the fucking episode, Pat. Before we always get into our movie, what's going on in the world of horror? It's almost the end of the year.
Can we just do the trailer? There's nothing.
Let's just do the trailer.
All right. Really, so nothing to really talk about.
Okay, Pat wants us to watch a trailer, so let's see real quick to see if I can get it loaded appropriately with no fucking ads. So we're gonna watch this. This movie's called Werewolves. I may go see this tomorrow if I feel like going to Times Square.
Hey! Mikey!
Oh no! It's him.
It's him.
Mom?
Uncle Wes, why can't you stay?
They need me to help them try and stop this. We're the only family we have left.
We got this.
Cody! What are you doing, man? You should kill somebody. We are all soldiers now. Tonight, when that sun sets, it's gonna be every man for himself.
We have a 9-hour window
to test and report our findings. We hope to see if this mutation can be blocked.
Let's go over the rules.
Don't open the door for anyone.
Don't hesitate for a second. Hoorah! 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 Good luck tonight.
Canopy retraction commencing.
Not the moon! Hey-o. All right.
There we go. Some practical effects.
Yeah, that one transformation definitely.
Those things are coming for us.
Isn't that the guy from the Purge movies?
Hey!
It is.
Bite me!
Yeah, it's Frank Grillo.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hey,
Wait.
hold on.
Fucking Lou Diamond Phillips is in this.
Insane. Werewolves.
All right, hold on. So it's like The Purge, just
It's
with
100% like The Purge.
and they got the guy from the Purge movies to be in it. All right.
So
I mean,
no, Pat. They're werewolves.
Hey, look.
It's not the same. They're werewolves.
And it's
I'm all cool.
It's not one night a year. It has to be one night a month because there's a full moon every month.
Oh, we gotta raise the stakes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, hey, I'm probably gonna go see this because this looks badass.
It looks badass. Like it looks pretty fucking sick. They're doing a showing at Times Square tomorrow, and I just don't.
They are.
I don't know if I want to go because I got a free ticket to go. I just don't know if I want to go out to Times Square tomorrow. Like it's such a far fucking lift to go up to Times Square.
Just go to the Olive Garden. It'll make it worth it.
I'm gonna go to the Olive Garden and watch this Purge.
You see Olive Garden one more time, I'm gonna leave.
Olive Garden.
That's his Beetlejuice.
That is
Olive Garden. Olive Garden. Olive Garden. Pat shows up.
And then fucking chicken gnocchi just starts coming out of my eyes.
He turns into a fucking flying spaghetti monster.
Give me the breadsticks or I'll suck your dick.
I don't know, man. That movie looks pretty badass. I mean, it's going to be stupid as hell, probably, but
I'm all for
practical werewolves look awesome.
Look, it's Frank Grillo, brother. Just strap in and fucking get ready for the action.
Dude, the guy wearing the fucking chest armor with saying "Wolf Killer" with his fucking like red, white, and blue face paint. He needs to dial it back some. He's going a little bit psycho there. Hoorah! I'm gonna kill these goddamn wolves.
Evil dies tonight.
No,
that's the vibes he's giving, dude.
It'll be better. I bet it'll be better than any of those movies.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, werewolves. I think it premieres tomorrow, but it
premieres on the 6th.
On the 6th?
Yeah.
So it premieres on the 6th. So it means it probably drops like this coming Friday.
Yeah.
Which is probably.
You know how I know? Because every time I clicked on every time I clicked on something on a Bloody Discussion, an ad popped up.
An ad popped up for werewolves?
Yeah. And so I was really like, well, I guess we should just talk about this fucking movie.
I mean, rightfully so. It looks pretty badass.
No, it looks cool.
And it's a fun little independent horror movie. Why not? We haven't gotten a good werewolf
movie. It looks like the movie where you'd go to Blockbuster and it would just be on the shelf and you'd be like, I've never heard of this. And then like you might rent it.
Depends on that cover. If the cover art's sick.
What's that? Is it Wolfenstein, that movie?
Wolfenstein?
Or something like that?
They didn't make a Wolfenstein. There's Dog Soldiers.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's why.
I wish they made a Wolfenstein movie.
Oh my God, that would be sick. Speaking of Dog Soldiers, they were trying to make a second one and it just wouldn't get funding or picked up or something shit like that. Like
it probably could now.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like recently. They were trying to do Dog Soldiers recently, and I guess there just wasn't enough hype, or it wasn't. I can't remember what the person who was trying to like get this project going. He posted about it, but everyone was stoked. Like the fans of Dog Soldiers, like, dude, please let's do another fucking Dog Soldiers movie. This is awesome, but it just, I think it died.
Yeah, because I just recently watched that one.
It's a fun fucking movie
for the first time. It was really good.
Yeah, love Dog Soldiers. Also, really good practical effects. That's the only thing I'm gonna knock this movie on. That transformation scene in that trailer did look pretty computer generated.
Yeah.
But the werewolves themselves do look practical for the most part, which is kind of.
I'm gonna say something too.
Well, think about it first.
Me? Okay, I'll think about it. You go ahead.
No, what is
fuck with you, Dylan? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm respectful to my friends, Pat. You wouldn't know anything about that, now would you?
I'm rude now.
Yeah, that's why I like you. You're funny. Me and Shorty laid in bed the other night and watched Van Helsing.
Hell yes. No,
cool,
please.
hell yes.
It still looks good.
Thank you.
It still looks good.
When he turns to a fucking spoiler alert.
Listen, it ain't no spoiler alert. Van Helsing has been out.
You've had your chance. Listen, y'all. If you're pissed off, you've had your chance with Van Helsing. I'm sorry.
You really did.
And look, I'm a werewolf guy. I like my transformations, whatever.
Yeah.
And Van Helsing, when he's ripping his fucking skin to turn to the wolf, it's fucking badass.
It is badass.
Thank you.
Trick or Treat does it better, but yes, it's bad. It's still badass.
Look, so many other movies do it better.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
And look, Van Helsing gives us what we want. We want a full-blown werewolf versus fucking bat vampire.
I want a rated R Van Helsing sequel.
So
Absolutely.
bad. Oh my god.
Please.
Hugh Jackman.
Someone give us Hugh Jackman. The man hasn't aged a bit.
You know what? We should reverse this Van Helsing's a bad movie fucking trend that's been going on for the past couple years.
All right, I got you. We're gonna strong arm this campaign.
Yeah, because it got Hugh, if you're listening, or if Hugh's agent is listening, this is 2 Hugh Jackman comebacks that were R-rated movies that were probably his biggest movies ever.
Yeah,
with Logan and Deadpool.
Yeah.
So Van Helsing being rated R coming back. Come on,
it's cash money in the bank.
Yeah, it
will print money.
It will, like, especially with Del Toro's Frankenstein coming out. Like, there is a desire for the
Classic
old school
monsters.
Universal monsters to come back in a form that we have never truly seen them in, which is graphic, violent, excessive gore, R-rated movies. We are not going to get that in Del Toro's Frankenstein. I know that. But the James Wan Creature from the Black Lagoon, maybe, because that's a thing that's happening. But anyways, I would love to let's start the campaign. Stop hating on Van Helsing. It's a great movie. It's a great product of that time of movie making.
Absolutely. I even go further. The video games were fun too.
Oh, the video game was so fun.
The video game was so much.
Was so
fun,
good,
dude.
Like Van Helsing meets Devil May Cry. It was so awesome.
Yes.
God.
Hugh Jackman movie game adaptations are great too, because the Wolverine movie game.
The origin.
Did you ever play that?
It was good.
It was M-rated and it was fucking brutal.
It was the one with the Weapon X thing, right? It starts off with Weapon X.
Yeah, and it's like
yeah.
And there's so much blood in that game. It was so good.
Yeah, you had to use like your senses to like walk up around like landmines and shit. Like, dude, that game was so fun.
And you could like leap across cliff sides and impale somebody with your claws. Oh my god, it was so badass.
That movie is trash. But the video game kicks ass.
Yeah.
I agree, man. There hasn't been a good movie video game made in a minute.
Well, Indiana Jones comes out this month, and that's done by the people that did Wolfenstein.
Ooh.
So and I got Game Pass, so I'll be getting that. I'll also be getting
Xbox on in months.
I'm also probably going to get Path of Exile 2.
Cool.
I don't know. Is that on any of y'all's radars?
No, I've been playing Silent Hills 2 though.
Oh, is it good?
It's excellent.
So
Awesome.
Path of Exile, Dylan, is this kind of like old school Diablo gameplay?
My brother has watched about 90,000 hours of Path of Exile 2 videos. I haven't seen my brother so excited for a game in a while.
This actually is checking a lot of fucking boxes.
Yeah,
because I love this type of gameplay. I just feel like Diablo's really left this. You still play like this, but I feel like it just lost a lot of that.
They said it's like. They said the guy that reviewed it that I saw that my brother told me about, he said that it's like Diablo 2, but also like from software.
Oh my God.
And he said that the studio is up there with like Alarian Studios, who did Baldur's Gate 3 or like from software. Like they put a lot of attention and time into it. And they said it's more like Diablo 2 than any of the other recent Diablo games.
Oh shit, dude.
Like it's going to be, and apparently I guess they're only doing an early access of like the first 3 chapters, but even so that can turn into like 80 hours. And apparently to go from one side to the other on the map, it takes you 1 hour.
Holy shit.
Yeah. This game is, it's very ambitious, but the videos on it look cool. The classes look cool. But it looks like a really good Diablo 2, which I'm excited for because that was absolutely my shit growing up.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I cannot. I'm trying to pull up. So the early access starts on December 6th, and it's available on PS5, Xbox, and Steam. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And the classes, looks like they have a mercenary, a monk, a ranger, a sorceress, warrior, and a witch. is the class
yeah.
they have.
And my brother was telling me about a lot of the stuff that the witch can do, where like mana is replaced. Like you could do a fire witch and like mana is replaced by fire. Or like you could do like a death witch, and like you could do a bunch of different like multiple classes to like those classes themselves.
So these are the first 6 of the early access. There's 12 total.
There's 12 total.
And once the game actually drops fully, you'll also have access to a druid, a duelist, a huntress, a marauder, shadow, and a templar.
Yeah. Which
shit, this looks badass.
Yeah, dude. And it comes out soon, and I think you have to pay for the early access, which is like $30.
That's not bad.
But if you wait for the game to come out, it's free.
Oh, really?
Because Path of Exile 1 was a free game.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, and like they're doing it with like no microtransactions, or like they're doing it like
microtransactions.
I don't know how you support a free game with no microtransactions, but like maybe it'll be like Helldivers 2, where it's like you don't really need it unless you want it.
Exactly, because I think Helldivers 2 did microtransactions in the best way possible. Like you could play the game without having to buy the packs, like unless you really wanted to have like the cool armor sets,
survive, you need the
and the cooler, some of the different weapons that came across. But like other than that, like it was very not. A lot of games today are built around microtransactions, and the gameplay itself suffers because of it. And that's the one thing about Diablo 4 that I absolutely hate is the microtransactions that exist in that game are insane.
It was Diablo 4 was so fucking amazing, and then the patch came out, and then it became garbage.
Ruined everything.
It ruined everything. I had so much fun with my Necromancer build, just blowing up corpses and destroying everything. I thought I was like, this is the most satisfying Diablo since Diablo 2.
Yep.
And then they fucking absolutely ruined it, because this is what happens when companies like Sony and Microsoft buy all these little studios, because now they have to answer to corporate shareholders.
Mm-hmm.
And there's rumors of Sony trying to buy From Software.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Nope.
Get the fuck out.
God, please, no.
Yeah.
No.
So,
you do not touch. That's my favorite fucking studio,
listen,
for the love of God.
I mean, money, I don't know. I think From Software might have enough integrity to turn down any amount of money, because they're already so much more successful than like 95% of game studios out there. So it's
every
like
game they've ever made has been a fucking hit.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like, to me, it's like, unless they're greedy bastards, then, which I don't think they are, then they'll realize they have more than they need.
Years. Like
FromSoft, you have more than you need. We will keep buying your stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need Sony's help.
You don't need it. You don't need Sony. You make games every.
Make another Sekiro, please.
Make another Sekiro.
Make another Sekiro, for the love of God. Make another Bloodborne, please.
Make another.
At least
Bloodborne.
remaster Bloodborne.
Oh my God! If they would please just remaster Bloodborne, I would be so happy. Or for the love, like, dude, buy some rights and make a fucking Lord of the Rings From Software game.
Ooh,
like, please.
Imagine being in Middle Earth in the third age of man. Fucking like, you're not playing as Frodo. That's happening in the background, but you're in that world. There's Balrogs, and oh man, I want a game like that.
Yeah.
So I hope that doesn't happen, because that'd be really sad, because I love From Software and I love every game they've ever made. And I don't want that quality of that game to go away.
Oh, by the way, did y'all grow up playing the Legacy of Kain games?
Absolutely. Did you see what's
that's getting the Legacy of Kain 1 and 2 are getting the remaster?
Yeah, I saw that.
Or is it just because I know it's Blood Omen is the series itself. Those are the first 2 games, I think, right? I can't remember, but there's Blood Omen and there's Soul Reaver, like the Legacy of Kain games, and like, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, Blood Omen is definitely what
I started with the Soul Reaper games.
Yeah. Well, you used to get the demos.
Yeah.
In like the mail, like with your magazines and stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Sometimes I would just spend a Saturday playing demos.
Dude, do you remember the PlayStation 2 like jetpack fucking demo games?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Back in the day.
Jesus.
Man. Yeah.
Speaking of back in the day, the Y2K movie. Have you guys seen the trailer for that movie?
Yeah,
it looks like they're trying to be like super bad, but it's Y2K.
And then it's fucking robots attacking.
But Kyle Mooney is in it, and I love Kyle Mooney.
Yes.
So I just thought it was just a nice little segue into back in the day, and a movie that's coming out this month, actually, where the Y2K event happens and all of the electronics turn evil, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited for that. And then what? Dino Crisis just got added to the PlayStation Store.
Oh, it did?
Yep. And
I need to upgrade my PlayStation Premium so I can play all the backlog games.
Exactly. Because you can buy it, but if you have the upgraded PS account, you can get that one for free.
Yeah.
And I love Dino Crisis. And, shocker, I know. And I wish that was I don't want that game to be remastered. I want
autistic traits showing again.
I want them to I want From Software. I know, shocker, to make a Dino Crisis game.
No, dude. Whoever did the Dead Space remake needs to do a Dino Shock remake. Because the Dead Space remake was they paid attention more so. I mean, there's the gameplay, but they really paid attention to crafting one of the best survival horror atmospheres I've ever encountered. The Dead Space remake. Yeah, you got headphones on.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
That shit is like, to me, I've never been so immersed in a survival horror game than I was with that remaster.
Yeah, especially when you go into like the zero gravity parts of the game too.
Yeah,
that's also what I'm playing that in sequence with Silent Hill 2.
That was one of the first things me and Shorty did when we first started dating. Was she doesn't like to play horror games, but she likes to watch people play horror games. So she sat next to me, and I let her make all the choices with the upgrades.
Nice.
I was like, "What should we upgrade? Like, what should we make more powerful?" I'd be like, "Hey, should I go and do this? Where should I go?" Like, I let her make the choices. She didn't have to experience the anxiety of a necromorph popping out of a steam vent.
I'll take that for you, baby girl.
Yeah, it just pops out of a steam vent.
That game is so. I love that game. I love that game for so many reasons. One, the aesthetics and the environment that you play in, but two, the level of difficulty it is. It's not just a point and shooter. It is you have to be strategic on how you shoot these aliens. To kill them. You know, it's dismembering them. It's waffle stopping their fucking skulls. Like, just a beautiful fucking game.
When you get a fully upgraded line gun,
you're unstoppable.
And you turn that bitch horizontal. You're like, I don't give a fuck.
Slice and dice, baby.
I'm telling you, anything that gets in your way, no matter how big or small, you're like, man, get out of my way, little ass boy. Fucking pow.
I also love that. I love the his name is Isaac in the game, right? It's Isaac. I love when like you actually when you melee with it, you just fucking like bitch slapping the fucking
and then you make that fucking stomp on the ground. Bro.
Oh man, if you've never played Dead Space, for the love of
kill
God,
yourself.
Do yourself a
Don't
favor.
do that.
Don't
Pat.
do that.
Jesus Christ.
Don't do that. Go fucking play it. It's worth the $30. I think that it is. It may be a little bit more. But one of the best
Black Friday sale is probably getting really good right now.
Yeah, you can probably get that shit on because I know like PlayStation has like a 70% off sale right now. So you may get lucky and be able to get that cheaper than you normally would. But it is one of not only the great, like just a phenomenal storyline as in itself, but the jump scares are super effective. It's almost like on the level of like Alan Wake 2 jump scares. Like they are timed so fucking well. So yes, play fucking Dead Space. It's a great game. Anything else we want to talk about before we get into a movie that is going to be a pretty heavy conversation?
Nope, we're good.
Silence is golden. Let's go, motherfuckers. All right.
Is God real? Let's go.
The question of today's podcast is God real? Belief or disbelief?
Hell nah.
If you stayed around and you're checking out the movie, we're talking about Heretic, which is the latest drop from A24. It's directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods. Brian Woods, you would know from Quiet Place. He worked on that film. It stars probably the most shocking celebrity I've ever seen in a horror movie, Hugh Grant.
I know.
The rom-com
English
man
rom-com king himself.
We're talking Notting Hill. We're talking Bridget Jones's Diary. Bridget Jones's Diary 2.
Love Actually,
which Patrick has not watched, and I told him he
Oh my
had
God,
to watch.
Pat, are you crazy?
The best Christmas movie of all time.
It's so good.
You need to watch
Oh
Love
my
Actually.
God, it's so good.
He's not in The Wedding Planner, but he's in another movie that's similar to the moral of the story is Hugh Grant. When you think of rom-coms, you sometimes think of Matthew McConaughey because he was the king of rom-coms. It's Hugh Grant.
Yes.
That man is beloved in the rom-com scene.
Listen,
but he plays.
Was it him that was in Made in Manhattan?
No,
Jennifer Lopez?
that
was Jennifer Lopez and
Matt
Matt McConaughey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Listen, one time at a Mellow Mushroom trivia night, they asked what they were like, what did Hugh Grant's character do? What did he do in the movie as his job? And I was like, it's an English, because I didn't see it at that point. And I said, it's an English rom-com. He probably owns a bookstore. And they go, the answer is bookstore. I went, boom.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just I love him as an actor. So like seeing him in this movie, I was like, dude, fuck yeah. But Hugh Grant, he plays this enigmatic and menacing character whose name is Mr. Reed. Right. And the story follows two Mormon missionaries, Sister Barnes, who's played by Sophie Thatcher, and Sister Paxton, who's played by Chloe East, who knock on the wrong fucking door during their rounds trying to bring in converts. And invited inside under the guise of hospitality, the pair quickly find themselves ensnared in this diabolical psychological game orchestrated by Mr. Reed, aka Hugh Grant, who challenges their faith and beliefs in increasingly disturbing ways. Who wants to go first?
Not me.
Pat?
Fuck God.
No? Okay.
This movie's great.
No, I mean, so like I went and saw this movie a couple weeks ago. And I went into it kind of on edge because I've seen a lot of hype for it. And sometimes that can be kind of hit or miss when movies are hyped up this way. And when I got in there and I watched this movie, the fucking level of tension that I felt from the characters, it was insane. Everything from this movie, the way it starts, the conversations that they have, the choices that are made, not to mention this movie literally takes place in one location, which is insane. Usually a lot of movies, there's a lot of moving parts and there's different facades that they're going into. This movie, it starts in the outside with them venturing around the town, trying to talk to people. And then the fucking second to third act take place entirely in Mr. Reed's house. Right off the bat, Hugh Grant fucking kills it in this movie, dude.
Well, and the movie does this thing where, it's like, hey, every step of this interaction with this guy is telling us to fucking leave.
Yeah.
And to the point that they're trying to leave and they fucking can't. Which I liked, again, because going into this movie, we knew, Hugh Grant is going to be the fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
But he's so fucking charming. Yeah. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, this is a movie where I feel like it's not meant to be taken so literally.
No, not at all.
There's a lot of allegories and metaphors. And like when they get there, the storm comes and they get let in and it gets worse. They're like,
also
the impending storm of like what's going to come. And then once they're in the house, it's just storming the whole time. So it's like they're in the storm, later on it stops. And then, things, that's for later. But because I went with my shorty to see it, and I feel like you can look at this movie two ways, but I don't want to go into that unless Pat was done.
I'm just saying, is this technically a Christmas movie because there's snow?
Oh, there you go.
It meets the Christmas movie criteria. It has snow.
It is because sure.
Yes.
Okay. But go ahead, Dylan. Divulge into your thoughts.
Yes.
It could be viewed as two ways. It could be viewed as like a deep philosophical movie about the one
Theology.
true religion,
Mm-hmm.
which we'll get into later, which I found to be interesting. It kept me intrigued the whole time. It reminded me a lot of like an early M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Okay, yes.
It gave me that vibe a lot for the twists and turns and revelations. There's a lot of revelations in earlier M. Night Shyamalan movies.
I'll even add on to that too. The humor. It was very
humor is very M. Night as well.
Good. I'll say good M. Night Shyamalan humor. Not bad, but yeah.
But it could be construed that way, and I think that's a fair judgment. But on the other side of the coin, which I also think is a fair judgment, it could be viewed as like an annoying incel, try hard, edgy. Oh, you believe in Jesus Christ? Like, let me tell you about Satan. Like, it's like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Satan would approve of this movie. Like it can give like that, what is it? The naysay, like contrarian, like the pseudo deep philosophical contrarian type, the fedora type.
Yeah.
It can be construed that way because Hugh Grant kind of can come off like that if that's how you look at it.
True.
Or he could, because what's the purpose of it all? But then again, that's where it shouldn't be taken literally comes into place.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I can see your point. That it can definitely be construed that way. I think like at first maybe you can see that as his character coming off that way, but then later on in the movie there are certain things that happen where you kind of like enter another part of the house.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see the extensive research this man has been doing.
Yeah.
So it no longer becomes like I'm a pseudo intellectual that's appearing. So it's more like, oh no, I actually know all of these things because this is what I do.
Yes. And that's where the not literally part comes into, because I feel like that the characters aren't just characters. They are ideas.
Exactly.
They're ideas. That's why he knows so much. And it's like, you don't question how much time and this, that, and the other. He had a bunch of books. He had references.
Right. But he
is the skeptic. He is the personification of the skeptic.
Right. But in the conversation at the beginning where he's like talking about, stuff that happens in the Book of Mormon and stuff like that, and they're correcting him on certain things too.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Like he is also a skeptic, yes, but he's also playing kind of like the idiot too.
Yeah. Well,
100%.
Yes.
To fool them into that he's not as diabolical that he is. Right.
Yes. And the other girl, you said the one with the glasses was Paxton. And what was the name of the other girl?
They're Peyton.
Okay. So Paxton and Peyton. So it's like a straight line where Hugh Grant's on one side, Paxton's on the other side, and Peyton's somewhere in the middle.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Sister Barnes and Sister Paxton. I don't know where Peyton.
Okay, Sister Barnes. Okay, so Sister Barnes is in the middle, where it's like she's halfway in, halfway out. So during the movie, you kind of feel like this is a time where like they both. I almost felt like it was going to go in a direction where he was going to try to convince her, and Paxton was going to try to like disprove him and keep her within the religion. But it didn't turn out like that.
Right.
Which I liked, because as the movie goes on, you kind of have to suspend your belief or disbelief a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. And the big surprise before we get into spoilers with this movie is like, I seeing the trailers, I'm like, this movie looks like it's going to suck.
I thought it was going to rip.
I didn't know how to. I was on the fence. I didn't think it was going to suck, but I didn't know if I was going to love it as much as either.
Right? No, I didn't
think about this movie.
I didn't think the movie was going to be this movie that you have to like analyze in the way that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be like a simple like maze fucking trap house fucking
and it's kind of how
movie.
they show it in the trailer, right? They show you this like this weird house setup with these characters. You're like, oh, this is just going to be like a weird I've trapped people in my house and they have to go through Saul configurations. Like that's what I thought it was going to be.
Me too.
But I will say, I think the movie does a lot of cool things. One, it sets up in the beginning of the movie when Paxton and fucking what's her name? I just said her name. Barnes are having a conversation on a bench and they're talking about porn and things like that. And it kind of shows you that even though these two individuals are in the Mormon church, which is ultra conservative, right? On a lot of things, they're curious about the world they live in, and they're curious about the things outside of the Mormon religion and culture that they belong to. And I think that was very interesting because it kind of shows that there's this little bit of like what's on the other side. The sense of curiosity, the willingness to ask questions. Because, it was Barnes who was like, oh, do you watch these types of movies? She's like, oh, no, I don't. But it was on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, so it's clear that Paxton is not questioning her faith, but questioning her life choices, possibly. We also see
Paxton's the one that was like born into it and didn't really strive away from the religion.
Correct. She's the blonde-haired girl.
Okay, yeah.
Barnes is the one who's played by Sophie Thatcher. She's the one who was
converted.
Her dad died from Lou Gehrig's disease, and her mom, they converted into the Mormon religion. So like with her, and I think that's another thing I love about this movie is that it sets you up during this conversation, which I'm going to play a clip of a conversation once we get into spoilers, because I think it really amplifies what I love to say about this movie is that this movie has very intelligent conversations about religion. It's not just sometimes when they have like religious horror movies, it's very, Antichrist and this and hail Satan and fuck God. This movie's not that like this. And I like that. This movie is a conversation about challenging your belief systems and thinking about things in a way that you probably have never thought about them before, and understand that all things originate from a single source of truth.
Right.
And I think that he does, I think when he's explaining in the house about what he understands about Mormons and the Mormon religion, and he brings out his Book of Mormon, and it's fucking like annotated with, has a bunch of fucking flags and things. And they're like, oh, you're more impressed. You've read this thing more than we have. I think it shows like the level of thinking that he has. And I also think that he is attempting to play God himself.
Right. No, the house itself and him building a simulation with the belief and disbelief thing. He has a God complex.
Oh, 100%.
Because he thinks, and rightfully so, breaks down religion and capitalism and in the same vein of like even those are in themselves are conquer behavior.
Yeah.
And they're also what's the word I'm looking for? Simulations and behaviors, right? Mm-hmm. So but yeah, let's go into spoilers. You
just want to go into spoilers.
Spoiler alert, dude. You can't just do that.
All right. So what I'm going to play is a scene in the movie when they are in the house. And mind you, like in the Mormon religion, women are not allowed to be in rooms with men alone. They constantly say, where's your wife? Is your wife home? And he's like, yeah, she's in the kitchen. She's making blueberry pie. And that's a big thing about this movie. Is the pie. It's a lot of the advertising, a lot of the marketing we saw for this movie. They did an entire showing at Alamo Drafthouse where they actually did a smell-o-vision type of thing where the entire theater smelled a blueberry pie. And apparently it was a fucking successful hit. Like it actually smelled like pie, and it was really cool, and it kind of enhanced.
If I was at that screen, I'm like, we're getting pie. It's gonna be
we're getting pie, dude. So I wanted to bring this in because this is like in the beginning of the movie. They're in the house now, and they're having this conversation, and this is him explaining his understanding of the Mormon religion.
As I understand it. Stop me when I go wrong. He was visited in the night by an angel called Moroni, who showed him where he could locate some golden plates near his home. His mysterious translation of those plates form the basis of this.
So right there, I'm pausing just because knowing what we know now about him, the coyness and the he's playing dumb. To kind of like build this sense of trust is just diabolical. Yeah, because he knows this book in and out. Like he knew how to pronounce that person's name.
Absolutely,
but he's acting stupid to let them feed him information.
Yeah,
right.
No, because again, it's the fake comfort.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna go.
No, you read more than we do. No, seriously, we should be more like you, Mr. Reed.
Mr. Reed. Pie smells amazing.
And now that you've been studying the Book of Mormon, how does it make you feel?
Can you guess what kind of pie she's making?
Is it blueberry pie?
It is blueberry pie.
I knew it, my favorite.
Going back, can I ask, how did your father pass away?
Yo, Dylan, pass that shit over here, boy.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't mind him. Blueberry disease.
He even makes a joke about her father dying, which is just wild. But I just think like those types of conversations in this movie, and there's like, I wish there was more. Some of the ones I actually like.
Well, the whole thing is like, it's so effective of him being like this kind of like comforting dad figure to them.
It's weird.
It is.
Or a harmless elder man.
Absolutely, yeah.
But they don't drink anything. Remind you, like I think he brings them soda, which is not a big no.
But they don't drink it.
They don't drink it. So like they're like, and then there's constantly asking like, oh, where's your wife? And he keeps like delaying that response. Oh, she's in the kitchen. Oh, I'll go see where she's at. And then when shit takes a turn is when he finally leaves, like the last time, and they try to fake having a phone call. And there's like no service because he asked them
at first too, before they even got into
some
the
of it,
house.
like metal. And he like tells them, oh,
yeah, he said, I hope
walls.
you don't mind. There, I have my walls and roof are metal.
Yeah, which is just an odd thing to say, right? Like, who the fuck welcomes you into their home and goes, I hope you don't mind that I have metal in.
But you can't make a call and you can't receive a call once the doors are shut.
Like, that would have been nice information before we walked in, guy.
Right?
I mean, he did give it to him. He was like, oh, by the way, there's that. Like, they had every chance to go, actually, have a good day.
Well, and they didn't. They probably did. That's not known knowledge to especially these.
Well,
girls.
no, but like, it plays on the whole of giving them choices.
Yeah,
they are on a choose your own adventure in this movie. In the sense,
it is.
They could have right then and there, and that's why I love Sophie Thatcher's character, because like she's from Philadelphia. She's definitely grown up hard and has definitely had a lot of challenges in her life, and she's the one who's constantly like, oh, where's your wife at? Or I don't know, maybe we should come back. Like, she's always trying to like pivot what's happening. It's the other person, Paxton, who is like, oh, it'll be okay if if your wife eventually joins the room.
Yeah,
because even before they go in, she tries to prevent them from going in, and then they're kind of like ushered in and to the shit world that they actually end up going through in the entire movie.
Well, and then again, this adds on to what Dylan said about the characters themselves are like ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Where especially these two girls' different philosophies of even being, again, they're part of the same religion, but the different ways of being converted into it. Where one is the very naive, doesn't know, and very curious about the world outside.
Into it, and
all she's and of course that's how she's going to be when it comes to the interactions with a complete stranger.
Yeah,
in comparison of someone that's been through hard lives and kind of like understands like the evils that humans can cause.
Mm-hmm.
And her being Mormon too, but more careful, more close to the chest than the other one.
And she's a woman. You don't want to piss off a man.
No,
or
exactly.
Yeah, so you got to be careful with that too.
Yeah, she's tiptoeing. She's, she's trying to do everything right. And even at the point, like when she's finally like, look, this is weird. We need to get the fuck out of here. And, she's like, oh, can you go through this window? Chloe, or not, Sister Paxton is not even willing to truly try, right?
Yeah.
She's just like, oh, let's try to make a phone call. We'll try to do this. And it's okay. Then they finally go down that fucking hallway.
Because they have to choose, because he makes them choose.
Well, before they choose. I'm talking about the hallway.
So they're still on the couch, and then he goes, follow me, because he wants to take him to his wife.
Exactly.
Because the door, and also the door has a timer of when it could be unlocked.
Well, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting to. So they walk down that hallway, and it's suspenseful. And this movie does a great job of like building suspense. And they cut that corner, and there's that like dark figure standing in the
oh my god, right,
dude? Talk about fucking terrifying.
Absolutely.
They're like Mr. Reed, and they kind of like walk towards it, and it's just a statue of like a saint.
It's like that, or a philosopher or something. I can't remember.
I don't remember who it was, but just like they're already on edge, and they're like walking down this fucking dimly lit hallway, and then there's just this figure, and then they open the door, and they open the door to like this weird like little library with church pews. He's like, there's that like the water's dripping from the ceiling, and that like bamboo shoot thing that they like really hyper fixate on.
Yeah.
And that's where the movie really, truly, I think in my opinion, starts.
Yeah, no, exactly. That should have been the title sequence right then and there. But if it was us in that hallway with the creepy statue, I feel like Dylan would be like, quick, throw a shoe at it.
Scooby-Doo that motherfucker. Yeah. Something, brother. I mean,
Pat, you go first.
I'll take my crock off and throw it at him.
I'm put this baby in 4x4 mode. Watch out and just fucking chuck it. Go ahead, Pat.
No, go.
I was just saying, like, once they finally open that room, they're just like, they see their jackets because the keys to their bikes is in there. And it's just like, they're trying so bad to leave. And he's like, oh, you can leave.
You just got to go through these 2 doors.
No, well, before that, he's like, but you won't be able to leave the front door until tomorrow. And he's like, oh, yeah. So funny thing. My house is on a timing mechanism. And once the door is locked, it has a 12-hour, 24-hour cycle until it opens again. And it's just like,
What?
What
Just unlock the fucking door.
That's gotta represent something, but I couldn't figure it out. Like the house being on a timer, it doesn't make sense unless it's like either houses had locks like that for like the entire house at one point, which I never knew that technology existed. Or it's like a metaphor, like for time, or like
it
being somewhere, like I don't know.
Or
nighttime is for the creatures of the night.
Or it could be for what we find out later on in the movie. Maybe it's just like an extra security measure. If something was to ever get loose, they wouldn't be able to open doors or anything like that because it's on a lockdown type of component.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the women that he keeps locked in the basement?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that just yet, but yeah.
We did play spoilers, so
we did play spoilers.
Even we could be spoiled. No one's safe.
No one is safe from the spoilers. But I think for me, I think my favorite part of the entire movie, honestly, is his conversation.
Yes,
about religions and how. He uses a game. He uses Monopoly. And he's like, we've all heard of the game Monopoly,
right?
And he puts Monopoly on the table, and he then pulls out another game, and he puts it on the table, he puts the Landlord game,
which is the original version of Monopoly,
the original version created by a woman, that was then stolen from her and repurposed by Hansbrough. And then he shows like the newer version, which is like the Monopoly Visa, like electronic version.
Which I have in my house. Shorty brought it with her in the move. Shorty brought board games, and that's one of them.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
And then it's the Bob Ross edition.
Oh yeah. But what he does so eloquently is like, he's like, all right, you have all these versions of the same game that are,
you have the original. Yeah. You have the original and then
all the copies. Right.
Yeah.
But then he does what I love is he goes, here are these historical biblical texts. You have the Torah from the Jewish faith. Then you have Christianity. And then you have, I think he rules
Islam,
the Quran.
Yeah.
And he's like, and all of these, which is very true with religion in the sense, if all revert back to one single source, and all of them have been adapted and to fit the, prophet that is prophesizing these texts to perpetuate their end goals in life and all this kind of stuff. I just thought like that whole scene was just so cool because this man takes chalk and he writes belief on one door and disbelief on the other door. He lights candles and does this whole outcome. And they're not even truly well, I shouldn't say not both of them. Sophie Thatcher's character is not fazed by it. The other ones, you can kind of see the doubt in her eyes.
Yeah, because she's never had to deal with anything like this before.
Well, she's never had someone question it like the way she
exactly.
Yeah, and break
it's all
it down.
she's known.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's when the simulation breaks for the individual,
Yeah.
When you're, especially that her characters, our whole life was raised on the ideas of the Mormonism and the
Latter-day Saints, yeah.
And then
that was the Bob Ross game, right? That's what I'm remembering.
Yeah,
that
the
correctly.
Book of Mormon was the Bob
Ross Monopoly game.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because there's the new version, with the credit card machine. That's the Quran. That's Islam.
Yeah.
And then the Bob Ross one is the imitation spinoff, and that is of whatever variety, and it was for Mormonism.
Yeah,
which we all know if we've seen South Park. They tell you the whole story. They made a whole Broadway play about it. It's very successful.
I was supposed to go see that play when I was in New York once.
I'm pretty sure it still plays.
Yeah, I went to go see Future instead.
It comes through Orlando all the time to the Dr. Phillips Center. I've been wanting to go, just haven't.
Yeah.
But they're Mormonism. Yeah. Dumb.
Yeah. Well, no, I think what's interesting is he says all that, and Sophie Thatcher's character is like, you're not going to just stand there and denounce that the Holocaust didn't happen, because what he's doing is like he's utilizing like numbers and growth of followers, because all religions start off as a cult and then they become organized. Like that is just the way you speak of religious followings like this.
Yeah.
And what he's insinuating is like all you're doing, all you're preaching, all you're perpetuating is a newer, smaller, flashier version of the predecessors.
Yeah.
And Joseph Smith, because I believe that's his name,
has
written this thing around to justify his actions, because he, in Mormonism, there's not paganism. There is what is the word when you can marry more than one woman? Polygamy. He is a polygamist. So it's like there's a conversation where he's like, what are your thoughts about polygamy? And they're like, oh, well, the church is trying to separate itself from this and all of these things. And he's like, well, this is your text. And Joseph Smith, do you think that he wrote this as a way to being a fucking whore, in the sense? Like he said, stop fucking women.
Well,
so
God told
he
me
wrote
I
in a
can.
rule and said, hey, I was told by this angel that I'm allowed to marry as many women as I want, take as many wives as I want, and it's okay. So it's just like, I love the thinking.
It's the ultimate gaslighting.
And I wish 100%. I could do that. God said I could play more Baldur's Gate 3. So you can't bitch at me or it's a sin.
You just gotta have a moment where you just like, you look like you're just like transcended, and come back and be like, I was just visited and they have spoken to me and said, I'm allowed to play more Baldur's Gate now.
and I can have McDonald's more than once a week. So
it's written on the holy marinara slab.
Wish we should write that.
We should.
Elohim said that I can have more than I can have McDonald's more than once a week. All right.
Yeah. And I love the corner. They always keep pointing to in that scene to a particular corner. And there's a point in the movie where it finally lights up, and he does one of the greatest things I've ever seen on a major motion picture like this, and begins to name every being that was born of a virgin on Christmas throughout history.
Yeah.
And kind of just like says, all of this is bullshit, because
it's all connected.
There is someone who 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 was born on this day, that was born of a virgin birth, who had followers, who did this, who could produce miracles. It's all garbage.
They're all Chris Angel.
It's all Chris Angel. Mind freak.
Yeah, we're all mind freaks.
And then they choose the doors. He makes them finally choose. They go down the belief door, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And they go down this creepy ass staircase, and they enter a room where there's a table and a chair, and they notice that the disbelief door led to the same thing. So no matter what choice you took,
it all leads to the same place. I think that was
a symbolism to the rearing road image that's always used in like religions. Like if you go down the Lord's way, it's a happier and brighter. In belief in him, your life will be better. If you go down this road, it's dark and gloomy with no belief.
But it all leads to the same place.
That choice was like, no matter what,
you end up the same place.
You end up in the same
Which
place.
is the life only guarantees one thing and one thing only.
Exactly. Death. And then something I was not expecting happens, where he brings in the pie, and a woman comes and eats the pie and dies. And it's just so wild to me. Like all these weird things keep happening in this fucking movie.
Yes, it gets weirder and weirder as it goes.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
So it's like, again, the more and more you watch it, the more and more you got to remind yourself it's not what it looks like.
It's not. Because he's over here saying that he has found a prophet.
Right.
And he wants the girls to test and see, like he fed her like what poison is it? Rice, not ricin.
I think it was rat poison or something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, he said that if you go down the stairs, you'll discover the one true religion.
Exactly.
Because he said that's kind of the Shyamalan type deal that I was mentioning. He's like, well, if you go down there, you'll find out what the one true religion is. I found it. And you're like, oh shit, like he found it? Like sometimes there's like things like in movies where it's like I capture, it's like in Twilight Zone where they capture it's the Howling Man episode where they capture the devil in a closet.
Yep.
And then like he tries to convince the guy to let him out. It's like that in a way. It's like it's kind of like you have the devil in a closet and it's like, oh, down whatever door you have the one true religion.
Yeah.
It's kind of like so amorphous that like you can't really like grasp it mentally. Like how can you have
the one true religion?
Something that's you can't see.
Exactly.
Well, so again, it was very intriguing. Very like, okay. I'm not looking at my watch yet. I'm not looking at my phone yet.
Well,
okay.
And again, he made a maze in his own house that made a simulation of there will be a prophet because I put it there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling you that this is the true religion because I'm building this maze that you guys got to go through.
Yes.
And I'm putting in your mind that there will be truth that is be revealed at the end of this
of the road.
Because and now that we talk about it, which is crazy, like the locked doors and all the things, it all makes sense when you find out what it is.
Yeah. Well, and he didn't lie.
He didn't.
But it is built on the simulation that he built and
his power.
Well, and again, it breaks down the ideas of even in our ideas of true freedom and willpower. Once a human's like given like, and this plays on to American culture too. The two options that you usually have is like one or two, A or B, sports mentality, blah blah blah. It all connects to a simulation that's been previously meditated and a way to control people.
Yeah, because that is the one true religion is control.
It's control. And then he breaks it down too to further into the philosophy of all these things. Are we butterflies that are dreaming of us being human, or are we human that are dreaming that we're butterflies?
Which he points to the philosophical question: do we live in a artificial simulation?
Which is so crazy.
Descartes,
which is so fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah, it is crazy to think about it because there are you break into the world of what are the fucking things the mandala effects.
Yeah.
And, we're told constantly, like, no, the Fruit of the Loom label never had a cornucopia. It never had a cornucopia.
Yeah, but you see that lady that found it, and
you
now
find
she's
the lady who went
merch.
back and found patent drawings of the original Fruit of the Loom logos, and it fucking had cornucopias. Yeah. And it's like, you can't gaslight an entire fucking generation of people that grew up knowing that it was Bernstein Bears.
They'll try.
They'll
try.
It's actually the Ramstein Bears.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's the version I want.
That
is a horny version.
But it's just wild. It is. That's why I love this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I came out of this movie and I was so fucking excited because I was like, wow, this was one, not at all what I was expecting. Two, I love the fact that this is a religious horror movie that's not a possession, that's not an exorcism type of thing. It truly tries to be something completely different with exploring religious horror. Every actor in this movie absolutely fucking kills it. The dialogue was well written. The conversations were intelligent. They weren't just like like, I would have hated it like he really couldn't back his claims, and nor could the people, Sister Paxton or Sister Barnes, really refute his claims and come back with other theological evidence-based conversation pieces.
Right.
Like, if that component wasn't there, I would have hated this because the movie is trying to be like a debate about theologies and what is and isn't true and what is the true religion.
Right.
And if it was like a shit script, this movie would have bombed.
Well,
it would have not been good.
No. And then there's other little details too, like what's her face having a birth control in her arm, and he refers to her as like an NPC because of it.
Yes, dude.
I'm like, what the
Also, Dylan, how'd you fare on that scene when he's digging on her fucking arm?
I actually didn't do too bad.
Okay,
there you go.
Because I had to watch it because my shorty has one of those.
Oh yeah.
And she was
now
like,
you know what to cut and dig for.
Well, she was like, she was like, that's what it's like. I'm like, there's no way it's that fucking brutal. He didn't give a shit. Yeah, because once he realized he couldn't control her, he kills her.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah, like at least that's how I took it.
Yeah.
You know,
100%. Like he knew from I cannot remember at what point that he realized that there would be no way he would be able to control Sister Barnes. But I love that they stole the letter opener and they had devised like a way to like attack him. And she said weird pajamas.
Yeah.
And as soon as you think that, like, you think because the way they cut into the film that she did it, that she cut him. But it's no. He slit fucking Barnes's throat.
Yeah.
Not super deep. Because she does come back a little bit later in the movie is actually being, surviving it to an extent.
Yeah.
But just an insane fucking series of events that unfold.
At that point. Yeah. Because it's almost like Dante's Inferno too, where it's like the only way out is through.
I think this movie is using a lot of Dante's Inferno.
Definitely.
Movie too.
And he kills her, and then I guess Paxton goes and sees all the other women that are in cages.
She goes through the 9 circles of hell,
and that's pretty much like the women in cages are pretty much like people that are stuck. I feel like he's supposed to say that they're the people that are stuck in the belief system.
Mm-hmm.
Where like you're caged because you believe because it's all nonsense.
Yeah.
That's how I took it because, they all were replaced and it's like prophets or, can't be.
That's what I thought they were too. Were just a factory or like a farming of prophets, right?
Right. People to spread the word. And then once you're done with them, and if you can't convert them, fucking they're no use to you.
Exactly.
Right.
Especially if you're trying to control it, it's not worth it. You just fucking get rid of it.
Well, he treats them like he farms them. Like he showers them like their fruits and shit,
Yeah. And Paxton, I think besides Hugh Grant, I think she gave, because I don't know if I've ever seen that actress in anything before, but she gave.
I don't think I've seen these two in anything either.
Oh, the other girl is in Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, she's in Yellow Jackets.
She's in Yellow Jackets and she's in. Oh, you've never seen it?
You got to watch that show.
Oh, my God,
That's a good show.
Yeah, Christina Ricci plays
a good show.
An absolutely awesome part in that show. I didn't realize that Christina Ricci was Christina Ricci until the last episode of the first season. I'm like, when is Christina Ricci going to show up?
Yeah.
And then I look closer and I go, oh, my God, it's her. It was her the whole time. Like Juliette Lewis is in it. Like it's fucking, high school stranded, middle of nowhere, survival / cannibalism show
/ weird
culty
cult things. Good show, Pat. Highly, highly, highly recommend. She was also Sophie Thatcher was also the FX makeup artist in Maxine. So Maxine's,
that's right.
She's getting the stuff put on her face. She's the FX makeup.
And she's been in other things for sure. I think she was in something else I saw recently, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. But no, she's done a couple of things I've seen. She's great. But I mean, the other girl, I thought she really had, had a lot on her shoulders because she had to play a person that like fully believed. And then, did she come out the other way, come out the other side a believer because she does escape after that and tries to free the women, but they don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
There's really no, I mean, like there's the movie does like two endings in the sense, like it does a one where we see her dying, that she is dying on the floor. And
and then that's where it's weird because she never loses her faith. And then what's the other character's name that died?
Barnes.
Barnes comes back to life and has like a wooden stick with nails sticking outside of it, and she slams the nails into Hugh Grant's head.
Dude,
awesome. Kills him. So it's like your belief creates miracles. So it's like, nobody really learns if it's the true, like if any of it's true or not, and I don't think anyone ever will.
Right.
And that's the whole point of it. But she does escape.
That's the true religion is control.
Yeah.
Well, the true religion is no one knows.
Yeah.
I know the movie is stating the control because I mean Nietzsche says it best. Religion is the opium of the masses. It is a way to control people by fear mongering and all these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But also the movie is also telling you in a lot of ways, no one knows anything about the spiritual world that's potentially exists. No one knows
except for flying spaghetti monster. Is the true religion.
For the flying spaghetti monster, which is the true religion. But no, seriously, I mean, like, you know,
who's the furry god? He's probably right.
But think about
the god of
furries. There are so many religious texts out there, and each one is geared to whoever wrote it, and it is used in its own way. And so religion is consistently used to perpetuate hate and extremist ideologies.
Yeah.
It's used to a lot of things, and it can be, in some instances, even though I don't believe in any religion, used to help mend and answer questions. People may need help putting faith in them, whatever.
And maybe sometimes it's comforting for these people.
100%.
Like, I believe in the Sith.
All right, Patrick. We got to unpack that one later. But no, I mean, but that's what I'm saying.
My religion is the Sith Lords.
Like,
oh, you're one of those.
What I'm saying, well, I think the takeaway is that Hugh Grant was so lost in the sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Like discovering what is the true religion. Yes, he uncovered that control is the biggest component of every religion, because religion is used to control lives.
Ultimately,
but even then, he doesn't know. Right.
Ultimately, no. Everybody thinks they know, but they don't.
They don't know. And if anyone tells you that they do, they're lying to you.
Yeah, because it's
just gonna cold hard truth gonna come out of.
Yeah.
Well, even in the ideas
they do know, they don't know.
Even in the ideas of atheism, the people that don't believe in religion treat it like a fucking religion too.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Yeah. So
weird.
It's an identity for some people.
It's identity, really and that's why everyone is getting this wrong.
Yeah.
But
become a nihilist.
Join the Sith. This movie, in my eyes, is a perfect religious thriller.
Yes.
It does things for me that I wasn't expecting. I was pleasantly surprised when I was watching it. I don't think I lost interest the entire time I was watching it. The twists and turns it took do remind me of like good M. Night Shyamalan movie making back in the day when he was actually decent at making films. And I'd have to say, like, you know, I think I'm giving it honestly a 4 on my, like, at a 4 out of 5. I think that it does a lot. I think that it's interesting. It would be interesting to see other projects that come out of this director's playbook and other ideas and questions he wants to play with, because it's just a fun movie. I think this would be a fun watch to put with alongside of like Midsommar and Hereditary, where like you're exploring, grief and loss and things like that and guilt. And in this movie, you're investigating or exploring theologies and belief and disbelief.
Can I compare this to an M. Night Shyamalan movie?
100%.
The Village.
You can't. You can do whatever you want.
The Village, how so?
In the ideas of villages, they build a time isolation
world that's isolated from the others.
Right, but it's still a simulation at points. That's the only correlation.
It's a simulation because they are living. There are people in control,
yeah,
who are aware of the outer world and are in charge of making sure that simulation continues to persevere. Yeah, I can see the lines.
Yeah.
I can see the comparison points. I mean, you have people trying to leave the woods, being in the fear mongering
with the creatures with the black cloaks,
the creatures,
or the red
it's
cloaks.
just normal people.
Yeah,
there is not real. Nothing is real. It's all just a guise that people who lead the community have put in place to keep things in motion, to make sure that their way of life is never.
Yeah, I think it's
man. Imagine the culture shock that girl faces at the end of that movie when she fucking hops the fence and sees a fucking semi.
She doesn't see anything. She's blind.
Oh,
yeah, remember?
You're right. She's blind. You're right. It's been forever. But
so
anyway,
when she hears a car,
when she hears a car and she feels a hard metal machine and feels the rumbling of an engine, she's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Well, you remember too in the end when she feels the road for the first time, she freaks out too.
Yeah,
we gotta do that movie.
I don't remember if this was the movie I saw before I snuck in to see The Village when it was out in theaters. But I'm pretty sure that me and my brother, we used to do this thing called the silver screen sneak, where you'd pay for one movie and then time it right with the next showing of a movie you want to see. That's how I saw Parasite.
Yeah,
hell yeah, dude.
I stuck into the late showing and just sat my ass down and then had a really good time because that movie's so good. So we saw Spider-Man 2 and then snuck into the village.
I'll tell you my notorious one because Travis, our friend of the podcast, owner of Black Magic Pizza.
Get all your pizza from Black Magic Pizza. Not a sponsor.
We'll not let this down for the day until the day I die. I still owe him $12 because he bought my movie ticket to This Is the End.
The interest on that is accumulated
absolutely
a lot.
And I made the choice right after to go see Man of Steel without everybody. I went to go see that by myself.
That's because me and Rory went and saw some movie, and then he was like, "You leaving?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm gonna walk into this movie." I said it out loud and everything. Who's gonna stop me?
Yeah, for real.
And honestly, no one's checking the foreign language movie in the back of the theater.
No, not only that. I mean, back then, before the pre-reserved seating was a big thing.
No, it was pre-reserved seating for Parasite. And I was like, for the first 30 minutes, I kept going, that's it, they're gonna get me. And then
it was just the first 30. You're like, all right, no, they're not fucking.
Yeah, no one else is coming into this movie. Like, I was so worried I was gonna get found out. It was gonna be so embarrassing.
When I was younger, my dad used to buy movie tickets for us for R-rated movies and stuff like that. But if you remember, before reserved seating or anything like that, there would be a guy that would count all the heads in there.
Oh yeah, I do.
The guy with the clipboard.
There used
that guy.
Yeah, there used to be.
Sometimes we would go see movies, and it's just us, and then a family of 4. And I'm like, oh, we're definitely gonna get caught. So when he would come in, we would duck under.
Dude, but they would come in during the movie as well, though.
Yeah. You were good for the first 30 minutes. If no one showed up, you're good.
Dude, I went to. I used to work in the movie theater, and kids would try to sneak because we used to play. It was only 6 theaters. It was Regal Mall number 420.
Hell
yeah, yo.
And it was 6 screens. I saw a lot of movies 3 days before they came out. And we used to or I used to, let's put it that way. I was in charge sometimes of standing in front of the door and checking IDs. Well, I knew that kids that were too young to see the movie would wait and can go into another movie and then come out and see if the coast was clear. And then go into the R-rated movie. I knew what they were up to. Them youngsters couldn't get one over on me.
When they used to do that to us, we used to ask the people in front of us, hey, just pretend we're with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
But don't insult my intelligence. So it's every theater was on the right-hand side except for the smallest theater, which was Theater 4, which always smelled terrible. That was the one that played. Do you remember the movie Dragon Wars? Of course you don't, because it was a sci-fi movie. It was a sci-fi original that made it to certain audiences. Yeah, well, shitty movies like that. Yeah, shitty movies like that would make it into that theater. Well, it was on the left side, so there was a little wall that I could hide behind.
Oh man!
So when I'd peek my head out, I'd peek my head out, and I had there was a red velvet rope. And I would unattach it and make it look like it was open. Kind of like the equivalent of a Looney Tune painting a highway on a rock, and then the person behind him runs into it.
When you give Dylan too much power,
he fucking takes it.
So kids would stick their head out and be like, come on. So they'd go over there. And then I would come out from behind the wall with the red velvet rope and go, produce credentials. And they'd be like, and I'd go, back to your theater.
Not in my theater, fucking nerd.
It was awesome.
Thank God you're not a gym teacher.
You saying that Dragon movie just made me reminded me of Reign of Fire.
Oh, it was so good,
dude. Fucking
so good. That's one of my dad's favorite movies of all time. That's one of his all-time favorites. If you want to talk about a motherfucker that loves dragons, it's that dude. Junior loves dragons. Game of Thrones, when the dragons started showing up, he was like, fuck yeah, this is so sick. He'd be like, we'd be watching it together. He'd be like, oh shit, here it comes. Oh, dragon.
Damn, hell yeah. If dragons ever existed, that man would lose his shit.
Yeah, I always send him, like, whenever I see a car that has like an airbrush dragon on it, I send it to him and he goes, fuck yeah, that's so cool. I'm like, hell yeah. The way Mike loves dinosaurs, my dad loves dragons.
I mean, I respect it. Dragons are badass, dude.
Yeah, T-Rex's dragons, they're fucking badass, man. Anyway, I give the movie
back to the movie.
This movie, I enjoyed it. It was like an M. Night Shyamalan movie that wasn't his best, but not his worst.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh Grant was great. Every actor that was in this movie was great, went above and beyond. I was intrigued the entire time. I don't know if I'd watch it again. I do recommend that everybody who sees it. But also, I doubt it's still playing in theaters, but if it is, go support it. But, watch it at home, see for yourself.
It definitely hits the streaming at home VOD premiere soon. I think it's like a couple weeks, but it's definitely in theaters still.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it a 3.5.
That's a solid score.
3.5.
Pat?
I give it a 4.
4?
Okay.
Right. I mean, it's an interesting movie. Again, I think it has a lot of strengths. I do agree with Dylan. I think it is a one and done type of movie because there's so many big reveals and twists. Watching it for a second time, you're gonna kind of know everything. But again, like the acting is just superb in this movie. So yes, go watch it in theaters or watch it at home, whatever you want to do. Support the movie. A24 yet has failed to fucking release a solid movie. I really don't know what they've tapped into, what finger on the pulse they got going on over there.
I saw the TV Glow yet. I don't know.
I tried. There's a lot going on in that movie.
Yeah,
it's filled with a lot of. I didn't finish it. So
yeah, they got the motherfucker from Detective Pikachu in there, and I don't know what he's goddamn doing.
I've heard mixed things. I heard people do enjoy it. Some people don't like it.
A24, if it's not horror, it's either real hit or real miss.
Yeah. That's true.
You get like The Life of Bo or whatever that movie was called with
Bo's Afraid.
Bo's Afraid, yeah. You
awesome.
Get that, or you get
that movie's awesome.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's your other half, because it's like, okay, like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I showed that shit to my parents, and my dad was just like, at the end of it, he was just like, fucking whatever, man. Like,
I mean, they do. I mean, there's another movie that just came out by them. It's a fucking not a thriller, more like it's like a romance movie that's kind of dark in the sense. It's called We Live in Time. It has Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield in it.
Oh yeah.
And that's another A24. I think A24 has a lot of good like human movies. And I know that's a weird phrase, but like they are movies that don't need action explosions. They're not the shitty rom-coms that like are, you're just kind of watching for the eye candy type of thing. They're more like, they kind of explore the lives of people and showcase the things that we all go through in the world. So like Anora is like another one that's popping up right now. It's doing really good. A24 and Neon, dude, they're not missing. So,
no, and I wish they would do more like Coen brother comedy kind of movies. Like, I wish like a Raising Arizona kind of movie, not a Raising Arizona remake, because nobody should ever touch that movie.
But do like
an
Big Lebowski-esque like comedy.
Yeah,
movie.
like do like, because we don't get comedies like that really anymore.
No.
There's Brothers, which I haven't watched yet, which is on Amazon, which is like either directed or produced by one of the Coen brothers. Okay. And it's got Josh Brolin and Peter Dinklage, and I think it's got Glenn Close in it. Yes, they're playing brothers.
Okay.
And it looks like kind of a 90s 2000s comedy kind of movie, a little dark.
Oh no, it's supposed to be funny. I've seen the trailer for it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but like it looks good. So stuff like that, or like there's a movie that Amazon did with Adam Driver and Channing Tatum and Daniel Craig.
Oh my God. Hold on. Adam Driver.
You got to help me with this one, because
I'm pulling it up. Daniel Craig. Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky is one of my.
That movie was fucking hilarious.
Oh my god, dude! That was one of the most perfectly casted movies I've ever seen.
The Game of Thrones,
dude. Dwight Yoakam as the prison warden. We ain't got no breakouts in this prison. Like, just would not admit, dude. And like the whole thing about robbing the Charlotte Motor Speedway and Sebastian Stan, and even fucking goddamn Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy had a funny role.
Yeah.
Where he just, they're like, just play a real jackass. And he was like, got it. Because he writes funny jackass characters all the time.
Definitely.
But like, it's such a fucking good movie. If you've never seen it and want to watch like just a fucking awesome comedy movie, like with like heist elements to it, fucking Daniel Craig's character in that movie is the best.
Yes.
He is so goddamn good.
But yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to see some movies like that come out of that studio. Maybe they got something lined up. We'll see.
Please.
2025 is around the window. And with that,
we need more chuckles.
We only have a few weeks left in 2024.
Yep.
This episode will be releasing on Monday, so it'll be December 2nd. We have, I think, the plan for December, if we were to look at a calendar, is we know for a fact that Nosferatu comes out on December 25th, which means our episode will have to be on the 29th for that movie. Absolutely. Or someday within that period.
Look, I'm going day of or day after.
No, day of.
Same.
The fuck out of here. Christmas Day, fuck a family. Go watch
No,
Nosferatu.
I like my family. Thank you very much.
Go watch Nosferatu.
My dad's making prime rib. You think I'm going to fucking miss out on that?
Yes, Nosferatu.
Listen, Nosferatu will be there. Prime rib is not forever.
Hold on.
Pat, what would you do?
Hold on. No,
what would you do,
rib, bro?
Prime rib. Creamy horseradish sauce.
Listen,
mid-rare.
Like the movie is all day. You go in the morning, watch Nosferatu.
I can't go in the morning. I got youngins that open presents, and I got to be there because I'm a good uncle.
Look them
at first kids.
Sawyer Ezra, he didn't mean it. Uncle Mike didn't mean it. Uncle Mike didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it. All right, okay, maybe not in the morning.
My brother's gonna hear that. He's gonna think it's so funny. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, fuck them kids."
Let me break this down before we go into further in the judgment of Dylan. I'm vouching for you.
Oh, thank God.
Look, we're called horror junkies, right? But food comes first.
It does.
Food comes first. We're not the scariest podcast. We're the fattest podcast.
We're the fattest podcast.
Yes, I'm only sticking to the script, bucko. All right,
it's okay. You go see it when you just know. Okay, so the thing is, we need a filler episode in between them. So I'm saying maybe
original Nosferatu,
or you want to do the original Nosferatu and then talk about Nosferatu again?
No.
We can do Smile 2. We haven't talked about it. Or we can do Terrifier 3. Or we can do
Terrifier 3.
Come on, buddy. Dylan.
I told y'all. I told you after the substance. I told you y'all could do that one without me. Don't feel bad that I won't be here. No, I told you. I am done.
But you like Terrifier 2. You didn't find it that
didn't.
Bad. You didn't think it was that bad.
I didn't, dude. I barely remember that movie. My brain's saving me from having to fucking think about it.
All right. Well, I'm saying that there's a couple of
let
movies
the internet vote for that one.
I'll tell you what, man. I mean, no, because the internet likes to hurt me, and I've been through enough. Trust me. I've been through a fucking enough. But I'll tell you what. I mean, we could spin the wheel. We could get House of the Dead 2 and really. Santa can come early.
You really know how to jerk me off, huh?
All right.
Talk about a fucking carrot. Talk about a mozzarella stick on a stick.
All right. Here we go. I'm going to spin the wheel. All right. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
So people in the world can make sure that I'm not lying or I'm not fucking
dead.
I'm not fucking cheap.
Or, I mean, have we done Krampus?
Yeah, I think
we have. We've done Krampus. All right.
Let me go to my screen.
Let's do Die Hard. Fuck it.
Fuck off. We ain't do no damn Die Hard. All right. So we're going to spin the wheel
of
horror.
So many movies.
I haven't updated this in a
House
minute.
Of the Dead, House of the Dead, House of the Dead.
Please. I swear to God.
No.
Leprechaun back to the hood.
Yes. No.
Yo.
Why?
Hold on.
I'll tell you what. Let's pick.
the movies,
let's do 3 movies, and we let the fans and friends and family pick.
Someone write that one down. So Leprechaun.
2. Back to the Hood.
All right, second spin for the second movie.
Jesus, so loud.
Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight.
That's
Never
on
heard of
Netflix. It's on Netflix.
All right, there's that one.
And for a third round, what will the third movie be? Oh, that's a short. That is a short on YouTube.
Does that count?
Spin it again.
I'll spin it again because it's only like 5 minutes long. But I don't know why it got on there. It must have been pulled from my short list. All right, here's the final movie. Do Planetary.
All the Underworlds.
Yes.
No, there's no way. There's no way that's multiple episodes.
All right, then just Underworld. So
Just
we'll
the
just do
first
Underworld. I already know what I want to pick. Okay.
You want to pick
All
Leprechaun? Right. I know it.
Yeah, you know it, buddy. So all right, so we our 3 choices, listeners, for you, and you can vote in the comments. You can vote in the poll. I'll make a poll on Instagram, on TikTok, all that shit. So make sure you're following us. You can choose from Leprechaun 2, Back in the Hood. Nobody.
Excuse me. Say it right.
No, back. What is it? Back.
It's Back to the Hood.
Gotcha. Okay. Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight or Underworld. It said all of them, but we will do just one, and we'll do the first one. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, please. Hell yeah, please pick that one. And then what we'll do from there, we'll do that episode. We'll do Nosferatu, and then the culmination of the year, we will do our 2024 horror year review, where we will go through our top 10 picks one by one, 10 through 1. I have a top 20 right now, and it is impossible to get down to 10. It is.
I hope I remember
hard.
10.
Well, just go to our Letterboxd profile and make a Dylan's top 20 list. That's what I did.
20 of this year.
Listen, I had to start somewhere. You had to go to 20 to get down to 10. It's hard.
I'll just pick 10 out of the 20.
Don't pick them from my list, motherfucker.
Well, I need to be remembered of all the things I've seen.
Is there about to be a hold down?
Yeah. So with that being said, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Letterboxd for reviews and things like that. Share this podcast with your friends, do all the cool fucking fun things, and help us grow and do the fun things we like to do. Until next time, I'm Mike.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Dylan.
Stay weird.
Count your teeth.